Cropping ears. Some people think it's abuse. Other thinks it comes down to the human's preference. What do you think? That's what we're going to be talking about tonight in Monday Bully Live.
Here we go. Kill the whistle. Oh, yeah. We are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time. Don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Yeah. Hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.m. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will give you the BYE. Here we go, kill the whistle. Oh yeah, we are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and a song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.m. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will give you the BYE.
The BYE. What is going on, guys? Listen, this is a topic that gets a lot of people's blood boiling. Some people feel that when you crop a dog's ears like that you're either only doing it to fight dogs or that it's actually dog abuse. Same people that are circumcising their kids or piercing their ears feel that that's okay, but you shouldn't be able to crop a dog's ear. Tonight, we bring in my dude, Michael Higginson. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, fam?
Hey, man, what do you think about ear cropping a dog? Do you think it's abuse, or do you think it should be the owner's preference?
I think it can be done abusively if done the wrong way, but generally speaking, if done right, I don't think it's abuse at all.
So when you say if it's done the right way, here, let me drop this banner. So do you feel, cropping your dog's ears at home, with a good old fashioned steak knife and no anesthesia, would you consider that the right way or the wrong way in doing it?
That to me is the wrong way.
Why?
If I had to say, I would say that would be the way that I would consider abuse.
You consider that abuse? I would too.
Yes.
I would too, because one thing is that you want to crop the dog's ears. The other thing is, do you want to traumatize the dog? Cutting a dog's ears at home, in my opinion, without anesthesia, that would be considered abuse. So if you were to take the dog to the vet, do you have any problem with that as long as the vet's using anesthesia?
I do not.
Okay. Well, listen, Billy Watton, he says it's abuse regardless. He sees it as abuse. I don't necessarily see it as abuse. Let me tell you what I see as abuse. What I see as abuse is, the hypocrisy behind people wagging the fingers at those that crop dog ears. And then you go over to a dog shelter, the majority of the dogs in the shelter don't have cropped ears. That tells me that, this is all a play in words and it's not really all about actions. At least to me, what's important is, are you taking care of your dog? Are you meeting the commitment that you made when you owned the dog from the very beginning? If the answer to that is yes, to me, that's really what matters.
I think there's 2 parts to it, right? There's whether or not the dog having their ears cropped or not cropped is good or bad for the dog in day-to-day life. And then there's also the humane part of the procedure itself. And,
correct.
And, anything a doctor does to you or me without anesthesia would be barbaric.
Right.
But with anesthesia, it's a procedure. So
You know, I agree with you, Mike. And the reason I agree with you is because I have cropped easily over 150 puppies' ears. Okay. I don't know the exact number, but it's got to be up there somewhere. Um, I can tell you when I bring the puppies back from, getting their ears cropped and, coming off of anesthesia, their first response is not one of pain. Okay. If anything, it's one of, let me get back to my senses because the anesthesia kind of scrambles their eggs a little bit. Yeah, occasionally you're gonna get a shake and this and that, but you don't have a puppy whining out of pain nonstop. You know, this is the idea that people think once their ears get cropped, but that's not necessarily how it goes down. In fact, 90%, and I think I'm being way low. I would say higher than that. The following day, they're back to doing just about any little barbaric thing a puppy could think of. This is one of the reasons why I suggest if you're going to get your puppy's ears cropped, if you're going to get your puppy's ears cropped, I would suggest you get it done. The sooner the better. Okay. What I mean by that, you had left us. That's why I had pushed you back. Put your phone sideways, Mike, when you can. There you go. Okay, go ahead. So I suggest you do it the sooner the better because if you wait until that puppy is, say, 12, 14 weeks old and you're going to crop their ears, man, let me tell you, you got yourself a super energized, now intelligent, and now cohesive unit in a pup to try and take off the bandages and the stitches and or staples or whatever the case may be. What I have found is that the younger they are, preferably around 7 to 8 weeks, the better off you are. Literally, you got to put them in. I put them in isolated cages that I have set up, and literally within 2 weeks, ears are fine. Within a day of getting their ears cropped, they're pretty much back to normal. Let me bring Mike back. Mike,
sorry
you
about
good?
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I had an audio issue there. I don't know what happened.
okay? Yeah. No, I'm just saying that the sooner you do it, in my opinion, the better off it is. Because the puppy does so much less, as far as wanting to scratch or take anything off. Now, a puppy's ears, whether they're cropped or not, if you were to bandage them up and you were to put an e-collar, they're going to scratch at it too. So it's not a sign that they're in pain or anything like that. XL Chan Cooper says, babies get circumcised every day. I don't see the difference. Well, I bring that up as well because, you know, people love wagging the finger, especially in this social media day and age. They love to wag the finger at somebody. Some of us are low lying fruit. Let me explain. A breeder automatically becomes low lying fruit because have you ever heard a vet talk good about a breeder to its clients? No, they're usually at odds with us for whatever reason. Sulema Santiago says, at home without anesthesia is abuse. If you do like it, like Michael said, it's preference in my opinion. I agree. Billy Watton says abuse with no anesthesia. I agree. I agree with that as well. Freddie Stravia, what's up, Bully fam? I prefer cropped ears. I do too, man. By the way, one of the things I recommend for cropped ears, this NuJoint DS has got chondroitin, MSM, it's got glucosamine, right? Along with Nuvet Plus, which is your multivitamin. It also brings minerals. What I normally do is when my pups go in, obviously they're already on Nuvet. Usually I like bringing them in around week 7 or week 8. They get their ears cropped. Well, those 2 weeks, in those 2 weeks alone, while they're on Nuvet and NuJoint DS, I found that their cartilage will double in density, meaning by the time the staples or stitches come off and you're removing everything, the ears are nice and erect and everything is where it's supposed to be. Now, with that being said, I will say that while the puppy's ears are healing, if for whatever reason, the bandages come off or one of them tilts in, you definitely need to go back to the cropping place for them to fix that, because you got to realize you're going to be adding cartilage density with NuJoint DS, but you got to make sure that everything is coming in right? Otherwise, it could actually work against you. Emilio Garcia says, good evening, everyone. I think as long as it's done in a professional manner and you take care of your dogs, to each his own. I agree, man. Shade Tree says, when my dog was Shade Tree left me hanging. Good evening, Bully fam. What's going on, Adam Fields? McBully Kennel says, I don't think cropping is abuse. My opinion is the dog should get anesthesia to get it done responsibly. True enough. Last thing you want, man, is to tie a dog down, cut his ears, traumatize the dog. If they ever see a pair of pliers, scissors, or a steak knife, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have a major issue in your hands. Enriquez Chavez, buenas noches. My dog is limping. Anybody have the link for Nuvet and the code? You guys know how long it takes to get it delivered. It usually takes about less than a week, about 3 to 4 business days, all depending where you're at. As far as the code is concerned, it is 513237, or right above Mike over there, 513237. Just there you go. Go to nuvet.com. You could either go nuvet.com/513237 or go place your order, and at some point it's going to ask you for the code. Juan Emery, I hope I said it right. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Abuse is how the owner treats their dog, and you should never crop ears without doing it the proper way. I couldn't agree with you more. Keel Young says, so is it just preference? Is it like plastic surgery, a BBL for dogs? Look, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. We all want to sit here and talk about dog ears and how they should be naturally erect and this and that. Fact of the matter is, only reason dogs' ears are not naturally erect is because they have become a designer dog. Any dog that humans have bred is a designer dog, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so my point is, the reason that we crop, some breeds have to crop in order to not get ear infections. Is it the majority? Probably not. The majority will use it as an excuse in order to get away and do what they want to do. Okay. To me, I have no issues letting you know, man, I crop my dog's ears because it's how I like them. Okay. Now, when I do have dogs, say like my girl Aruba, that's got them natural rose ears, then that's a different story. Okay. That's a different story. But if I don't have natural rose ears, I'm not. And even if I did on a male, I would have to see how it looks like on the male first before I go through with it. But more likely than not with a male, yeah, they're going to get cropped, man. That's just the way it's going to go.
I think there's a couple different things too to add in there. Goes back to the two parts that I talked about in the beginning there. Like all predatory mammals have erect ears, right? And so
right.
Even though the dog has been domesticated because it comes from the wolf originally, which has erect ears, the function of the inner ear is designed for an open ear. It's designed for an erect ear, but the domestication of the dog has left it floppy. And so naturally, what a dog has inside is supposed to be able to get air better and breathe. And because the dog has been domesticated and it's flopped down, it can cause moisture issues, yeast issues, infection issues. They get moisture in there and can't get it out. And so from what I've seen in my own experience in my journey with my dogs, it has been better. I have a Pitbull that does not have her ears done. and I have to stay in her ears. And she's 5 years old, and there's nothing I've ever been able to put in them that will last any amount of time to keep her ears from bothering her. It's a constant battle, and all three of my bullies have their ears done, and they don't have any ear trouble at all.
There you
And
go.
I really believe that the two are connected. That's so tell me if it's humane, to leave them if it's going to cause a problem. It's like circumcision. It's the same thing. It can be left either way, but it was an issue of cleanliness, of trying to clean it, and I've noticed that with the dog's ears for sure, man. Also,
yeah.
the other thing was the age of the puppy.
Yes.
And I talked to my vet, and he informed me, because I was curious of why the age is so particular, because they're like, if it's too old, too young, and the deal was, beyond a certain point, the blood vessels start to travel down into the length of the ears.
Yes.
And so when they cut that, it's more likely to be a bleeding issue than when they're young to a certain age.
This is true. And, I'm glad you brought that up, man, because let me tell you something, Mike. I get hit up all the time, bro. I get people asking me all the time. It seems like it's just one of the most common questions I get asked. How far can I go? How old can my dog be before I can no longer be able to crop its ears? The answer to that, I don't have. No one will, outside of the cropper. See, the cropper that you have will determine how old your dog's going to be in order for him or her to crop the ears. You may have some croppers that are not as advanced, and they kind of want to keep things between 12 weeks or less. You have other croppers. I've seen some croppers crop at 2 years old. It just comes down to the cropper. It has nothing to do with, there's not an automatic response or an automatic answer to that.
I would just say generally, of course, there's going to be things outside of general, but generally speaking, it's usually 12 to 15 weeks from the different vets that I've talked to, or maybe it was 12 to 14, and 15 is too long, but it's right in that range.
Right.
That they prefer to do it.
Right. I got Shade Tree here. Says, when my dog was spayed, it looked gnarly, way more crazy than ear cropping, whatever, when being done correctly. Did I abuse my dog by having her spayed with laser? Well, here's the other part. Those that want to be purist and want to wave the finger, they always talk about spaying as something that is necessary, whereas cropping ears may not be. Let me get something clear. What if there is a human out there that is willing to commit to a dog and take care of it, but it's his or hers only caveat is that they want to be able to crop the dog's ears? Maybe that's a necessity for that human being. I hate to say it that way, but it's true. Some people need, I want a bully, but it's got to have cropped ears. If it doesn't have cropped ears, that's not what I want. What I'm saying is, who are we to say to that human that has invested in this dog that they can't crop the ears? What I say is, regardless whether the ear cropping comes out good or doesn't, as long as you're committed to that dog in its lifetime, it's really what matters, bro. Billy Watton says, I was taught growing up it would be best by 10 weeks of age. Billy, I can tell you this. I cropped back when I used to crop litters in my yard. I cropped an entire litter at 6 weeks. Best decision I could have ever made. You would say I'm crazy. In fact, I was scared doing it at 6 weeks, but it was the easiest outcome, easiest way to deal with ear cropping. As long as you have the individual cages for the pups, you'll have no issues when they're about 6, 7, even 8 weeks old. Now, I had to crop a pup once at 14 weeks. Man, let me tell you, that was near disaster. Every other day I had to drive back to the ear cropping place, take her back then they had stitches. She would pop 1 or 2 stitches out on a daily basis.
Now that I think about it a little further, I think my brain got jumbled up. I think what I remember is different vets that I checked with were saying like 12 weeks is too old, 13 weeks is too old, 14 too,
Right.
12 to 15 weeks was their cutoff. I want to make sure I said that right, because obviously you can do it a lot younger than that, but not to do it somewhere between 12 and 15, but
Right.
somewhere between 12 and 15 being like it's too old. That's what I realized I didn't really clarify that, but I had a one vet said like, oh, it's got to be how old is the puppy? And I said she's 13 weeks, and he said no, we cut off at 12. And then I had another one said, well, they cut off at 14, you're going to have to get her in, and all that.
Right.
But somewhere in that range, 12 to 15 is usually where they say it's too old.
Yeah. Like I said, I've come across.
Depends on the cropper, I guess.
It comes down to the cropper, bro. It comes down to the cropper.
Yeah, it does. Just in the ones I called probably 10 when I had Freya's ears done, and called a bunch when I had Kata's done. It's the same thing. So
yeah. Chris Kalu says cropping should always be done responsibly if that suits you and your dog. I have both with crop and without. In my opinion, it's mainly to do with ear health, like infection and so forth. I got both ear cropped and not cropped. I can tell you this right now. My girl, Aruba, and again, I mean, she's about to turn 8 right now. But right now, she's having an issue with that right ear. And it's not the inner ear. It's the floppy part. The floppy part of the ear, something bit her there, and it's just created a mess because now she's scratching at it. She's created a slight little wound, which now I got to be fighting so it doesn't get infected. Never had an issue like that with my cropped ear, any one of my cropped ear dogs. 9 of mine have full flop, all large ears, but no ear issues. There you go. Shea Tree. I've experienced with my dog. She agrees with the infections. Marley, this argument is ridiculous because most people that are against cropping will be pro spay and neuter at an immature age. Bingo. Thank you, Marley, for bringing that up, which causes more problems than it solves. It does. So let's tell people out here at what age they should spay their dogs so that at least they're doing right by their dogs. My recommendation is 18 months. What's your recommendation, Mike?
I was going to say the same thing. 18 months at least. The dog needs to be grown, to be matured. Or I would say the other time I would recommend is after you're done breeding that female, her career in breeding is over with. If she doesn't need to be going through heat cycle after heat cycle and not being bred without being fixed. So once you breed her, whether it be 3 or 4 times or whatever you do, and you're done breeding that dog, she needs to be fixed because it's hard on them not to.
Yeah, people need to understand that uterus gets damaged every time she goes through a heat cycle, pregnant or not.
Yeah.
Right. So what ends up happening is you could end up with a dog with uterine cancer because you didn't spay her after her breeding career was done. So my suggestion, like Mike said, once you're done breeding the female, then yes, it would be a good time. Queen's New Blood says the real question is, does it affect their way of life? My dogs don't notice it. More so, my uncropped don't notice either that the others don't have ears. Yeah, well, look, let me say this because I've been having conversations with Mike this past weekend on the subject. Let me tell you, in my opinion, and I mean, again, I guess my opinion is going to be somewhat biased because I'm a dog lover. I don't only love American Bullies. I love dogs, period. Why? Because they're innocent, because they're pure, because they keep me grounded. Okay, for some reason, I feel like dogs ground me in a way that humans never can. You could be talking to a human and they could give you a heartfelt story. and you're there believing it. But somewhere in the back of your mind, you could be thinking, is this dude full of shit? Or is he really telling me the truth? You see, whereas with a dog, that's never the case. At least with me, you know, anything a dog growls at me, barks at me, licks me, wants to play, whatever, I take whatever a dog does at face value. And you're going to go, you're going to be right 99.99999% of the time. That's just me. Saludos. What it do with Big Lou? What's going on, man? Zulema Santiago says, my vet requires pup to have 12 weeks, all shots before crop ears and blood work, and all visits after cropping for that purpose are free. Plus, they take care of the ears till they stand up. That's excellent, Zulema.
That is good.
Again, Zulema, the question is not, okay, so the question is how it's done, in that the puppies should get anesthesia. Now, is there an age issue? Say, like I did, I got an entire litter done at 6 weeks. Is that considered to be unethical because I cropped them at 6 weeks? Or should I have waited until they were 10 weeks old? I can tell you this. Though when I did the litter at 6 weeks, the following day, it was as if though nothing had ever happened. Now, same thing happens with the 10 weeks old, but the 10-week-old pups, they've been moving around better. They kind of know how to take things off better. They're just more advanced. You'd be surprised, between 6 and 10 weeks. That's a long time for that pup to have lived a little bit more.
A lot of changes in growth and developments in that time.
Yes. The very first bully that I had, his ears cropped at 9 months old, and it was done at a vet. There you go. Shade Tree. I think the bigger, the better. They don't even remember it. Actually, I think it goes the other way around, Shade Tree. I think it's the younger, the better. Now, don't get me wrong. You're not going to go in there with a 3-week-old pup to get their ears cropped. But I think 6, 7, I think 7 to 8 weeks.
On my screen, her comment said younger.
Oh, my bad. I think the younger, the better. Yes, you're right. Look at Kyle giving me the finger in the back. All right, man. All right, guys. All right.
All right.
My bad. My bad, Miss Shade Tree. I'm going to give you a free spin on that one. How about that?
I got you, Shade Tree. I got you.
Vets here do it after 24 weeks. Wow. So they're talking about 24 weeks. That's what, a 6-month-old pup? Jeez. All right. Sorry, 14. Why do people recommend not cropping past 15 weeks?
Oh, I guess he was saying he to type 1-4. I mean, he typed 2-4. He meant to type 1-4.
Oh, okay. Right. He meant to say 14 weeks. Okay.
Right.
Got you.
Okay.
Why do people recommend not cropping past 15 weeks if you have a professional who knows what they're doing? What does it matter if he does it on an older dog? I think that the whole 15 or 12-week thing has more to do with what Mike said, because the blood vessels will come all the way down to the part where you're going to be cropping. So if you look at it from a medical standpoint, what that means is there's going to be more of a bleeding complication. There could be more of a bleeding complication. With that being said, if you're a cropper that uses laser, okay, laser is used to actually burn the tissue, and it will actually bind the tissue and keep it from bleeding. This is why, say, if I am a cropper and I have laser, I have the technology to use it, and Mike doesn't, that's why there's going to be a difference between him and I. I'll do above 14 weeks, no issues. If he's doing everything with just the scalpel, yeah, it might be more complicated for him to be able to pull it off. And that's why we get different answers depending on who's going to be cropping the dogs, guys. Caveman says, big enough to go under anesthesia. All right. I'm about to pick up a lilac tri-female tomorrow. She's 16 weeks, and I'll be getting her crop within a day or two from the day of picking her up from the breeder. That's fair. Shade Tree says the older the puppy is, the bigger the blood vessels in the ears are, and the longer time for healing and more risk. When they're little tiny babies, they heal faster. Shade Tree, you're absolutely right. I agree with that. And Rotha says, when I keep a stud, that will be marketed to the public, I will definitely crop. Okay, fair enough. So you're doing it for marketing purposes. Reyes says that flappy ear bite happened to my female too, and now there's a bald spot. Yeah, Reyes, this is what she's going through right now. I feel like an insect or maybe a spider, something must have bit her there, because it swelled up like a little balloon one day. And I went in there and I started giving her antibiotics, and then it shriveled up, man, and it got all wrinkly. It's the weirdest thing. Shade Tree saying hello to Big Lou. Billy Watton says at a younger age, it would probably be a better transition for the puppy, quicker to bounce back to normal with the least amount of problems. Yes, and in addition, they're limited as to what they can do. Trust me when I say this, a 14-week-old pup getting their ears cropped, oh man, you're going to be running back and forth because they're going to be popping things off that you never thought they could. NBK, yeah.
Go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say there's another part of this too. That's it. I guess it's a little bit out of the realm of whether or not you should or shouldn't do it, or abuse or not. But it is about the ears, and we talked about this as well. There's people that have been cropping ears on dogs for 20, 30 years, and got a reputation for doing a great job. I wouldn't say necessarily, not that they can't be good at it for our breed, but because our breed is a newer breed, and only in the last 10 years did most people have heard of it, unless they were, into the dogs. There's a certain style of crop. There's different cuts, different heights of cut, and we'll talk about that. But there's a certain way that the ear is cropped on our breed versus like a Cane Corso or a Doberman or some of these other breeds. And I think a lot of these, not that they can't do it, but I think a lot of these old school vets tend to not be hip to the new way that they cut ears and cut them like some of these other breeds. And I've noticed that in my own experience, that the bottom part where you'll have the point, and then you'll have the bell that rounds down, and the bell doesn't round down straight to the head. It rounds down to the bottom part of the ear, which kicks straight out.
Right.
And they're not taking enough off the bottom. The bell should round all the way down to where the ear meets the head, to make that bell start where it connects, and not start out here at an angle and then bell out. You know what I mean?
I think it comes down. I think again that comes down to the ability of that ear cropper. Look, let's make this perfectly clear. There's some croppers that you could tell, like some vets, that you could tell when the dog goes there, it was either their first or second time cropping a dog, because the dog then comes out with a freaking nacho looking ear, looks like a nacho, right? I think that comes down to that, to me at least, and I'm glad you're bringing this up. To me, at least, it was very important to go to an ear cropper that was doing many ear croppings, not doing them by exception. I'm going to do it as a favor for you, but this is not what I do. If I hear my cropper telling me that, I don't want you cropping my dog. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to bring up, what is your favorite crop? Those that are watching, do you prefer the battle crop? Do you like the short crop? Do you like the show crop? Or do you like the long crop? Now, look, I'm going to tell you guys this. For a very long time, all my dogs were getting the show crop with a slight bell. And from about 2 years ago till now, all of my dogs are getting a short crop with a slight bell. Again, that's just me, and that's my preference.
Can you put us to the side and put that image up here where we're up here as well?
Let me see
can that be done?
Yeah, I think it can. Hold on. Let me Yo, my bad. All right, hold on. Let me bring an image file. There you go. Boom, there we go. Okay, got it.
If not, we can just put it back up and I can.
No, I got it now. Kyle, give me a sec, buddy. Let me make sure There you go. Go ahead. Yeah, I brought. There you go. Go ahead.
What I was talking about here. So these different type of crops, battle crop, short crop, show crop, long crop, that has to do with the length of the ear and the shape of the bell. But for example, to reference what I was saying here, all of these different examples are cut at the base of the ear, like I was saying needs to be done, except for this example of the show crop. This example right here, if you look at the show crop, yeah, see the base of the ear, how it's sticking out from the head,
Yes.
where on the show crop.
Yes.
All the other ones, it's a smooth transition from the base of the ear from the head
Yes.
on every one of these examples, except for that show crop, and that's because now I like a show crop. It's not my first pick, but I don't have any problem with it. But this particular example of a show crop is what a lot of the old and not old in age, I just mean the old school croppers will cut it like that, not knowing to tie that bell straight into the head like it is in these other examples. And I think that's a big deal when it comes to how the ears turn out and how they look when they're done.
Now, before we got on here, I had Kyle go right ahead and set everything up because we went ahead and dropped a new poll at in QBN, our YouTube channel, QBN. If you go to community tab, you're going to see the polls. Kyle, do me a favor, refresh the poll before I bring it up. Yeah, go ahead and refresh it. Give me a thumbs up. All right, there we go. All right, so he's going to set that up, and I'll bring here and show you guys what the results are. Look at this. It's pretty freaking amazing if you ask me. Look at this. Is ear cropping your dog abuse or your preference? Check it out, man. 90 votes we got in there. 87% say it's preference. 13% say it's abuse. If you haven't voted and you feel like you want to vote, go to our channel, QBN Kennel, in YouTube. Go to the community tab, and this is open. Anybody can vote on it. We have 87% of the people in here think that it's preference over abuse. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of like seeing that, man, because a lot of times I'll post up my dogs running around or whatever. I always get somebody typing on there, "You mutilator, you animal abuser," whatever the case may be. And I mean, I'm kind of glad to see that there's people here in the same boat as I. Is
The
what I'm
same
trying to
people
say.
saying that they're the same ones that want to spay and neuter the dog before it's developed, causing all kinds of
they're going to spay and neuter at 6 months, right? Yeah. And then then the dog is so overweight by the time they're 2 years old. Now they're running all these factors of cancer and whatnot. It really, really sucks, man. Shay Tree says, "I love being grounded." You got it, Shay. Sean Wheeler says, "I paid big money for my Bully XL and I decided not to crop his ears. I said to you before, I'm missing my right leg and he's my best friend. He's the greatest dog ever. Everybody that meets him loves him. I like you guys to go done saying it is all about how you take care of the dog. That's the most important thing." Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Billy Wanton says, "Dogs give unconditional love to those that give love to them." 100, man. We got the life of Miklo. If you have a male that you may or may not breed, would you still recommend neutering? By the way, my breeder cropped around 8 to 10 weeks. Miklo has show crop ears. Yeah. I personally would not ever neuter a male. Me personally,
I agree.
The female, I would out of necessity. Like, let me give you guys an example. My girl Azu, she started here from the very beginning along with Fireball. She just passed away on us coming up 3 months ago. And, I kick myself to this day to think that she probably could have lived another year had I spayed her sooner. Okay. But the fact of the matter is this. I started researching it, right? Because when you have a thought like that, you kind of want to research a little bit. So it turns out that mammary cancer, believe it or not, has got nothing to do with the hormones that are being produced in the uterus. So I kind of talked myself out of the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? But sometimes sometimes like anybody else, I'll find myself questioning that, should I had spayed her sooner? Maybe she wouldn't have had cancer, that sort of thing.
I think as far as neutering the male, I think there are scenarios where it might be better to do it than not to do it. Like, for example, if you had an outdoor dog, which is not really common in our breed, just a free range outdoor dog. If you had some big property or something, they're not really as good in different weather range as some breeds. But just for dogs in general, I didn't have my Great Pyrenees that passed away here
Yeah.
a short time ago. I didn't have him fixed because he was real good to stay pretty well on this street. But I guess if you had a problem with a dog knocking up all your neighbors' dogs, or getting in a lot of fights, or
Yes, some sort of aggression issue.
you got a cattle dog that's supposed to be protecting the flock or the herd, and he's always gone, getting into trouble and getting hurt and being gone for weeks at a time, chasing stuff and things like that. Then maybe you could look into it. But as far as in comparison to the female, where the female has health issues if she's
Yeah.
not fixed,
Yeah,
there's no
she needs
health issues for the male. The male could go a full life and never be fixed. It's not going to hurt his body. Whereas the female gets the scarring in the uterus and stuff like that. I think, to answer that a little further.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's necessary for the female to be spayed once she's done. But the male, I mean, unless you have aggressive issues, and I'm talking about if I had a dog that was 6 or 7 and he's developing aggression issues with other males, at that point I'm not going to put you down. You've been here 6, 7. I'm gonna let you retire, but I'll neuter you at that point. That would be the only thing. Yeah. Selema says, I agree. At 12 weeks, the ears are close to be late. The cartilage is harder than at 6 weeks. For the same reason, I'll be a little concerned. Don't take longer to stand up. I can tell you guys this, that 6-week litter that I did, all their ears came out perfect. I do agree there's something with the cartilage and maybe, blood vessels and whatnot coming down. D. Taylor, hey, everyone. Hope everyone's having a positive day. None but love, D. Taylor. There you go. Jose Rosales, I love my bully's floppy ears. Travis on time. It's very important to have a vet that understands the American Bully breed itself. When they do not care, then it becomes into a just give them the money with nothing. Yeah, I agree. Interviewing your vet and seeing what he or she knows about your breed is something that is very important, man. Sid 1026, but that depends on the individual. My cropper does all types of breeds and has always done a good job on my dogs. There you go, man.
I'll tell you a big thing about vets, and I've figured this out just tossing around and through all the things I've been through with my dogs. I don't have any loyalty to the vet. I hope he has loyalty to me or she, but I don't have any loyalty to my vet. If my vet, like I have expectations of my vet, and if my vet doesn't meet my expectations, I'm gone. I'm down the road. Like, this is what I expect from you. This is what I want. This is why I'm here. And you'll do that for me, or somebody else will. But I'm not going to go to a vet because I've been going to them for years and my neighbors go to them and all that. I want my vet to be meeting my expectations.
Look, how many people watching us, man, and I want your honest opinion, okay? How many of you feel that a vet is nothing more than a businessman or woman, for that matter? Give me a thumbs up if that's what you think. Give me a thumbs down if you think no, they're more than that. All right. Drippy saying short crop to the bell. I like short crop, slight bell. I like the show crop, says Sean Wheeler. Do muscles, short crop. Okay. We got show crop is what I've done. Okay, this is what they like in short crop. Short, yeah, man. That short crop, there's something about it. There's something about that short crop, man, that just
It's the right
man,
proportions.
it's just sexy. It is sexy.
It is.
And here's the thing. I'm gonna make everybody here think. If you had to choose between a battle crop or show crop, which would you choose? Me personally, I would go with the battle crop. I just the long crop and that show crop is just I don't know if it's just style that is passed or what, but I don't like it anymore. I don't like those longer ears. You know what I'm saying?
I think it makes I think it takes away from the identity of our breed. You know, not that a whole ear is not a bully, but I think the longer ears, and it's just preference. It's all preference, right? But
Yeah.
me personally, I think a dog looks more bully with a shorter crop.
I agree with you, man. Eduardo Morales, short crop, battle crop, Hebre Bullies desde Aguascalientes, Mexico. All right, man. Billy Watton likes the short crop. Domingo Murillo, I'm on the fence, but it's between the battle and the short. I like it, bro. I like it. Show crop Bella. I like the combination between the longer show crop. I've seen on some have, but the show crop is my favorite, but the long crop is second. No, man, not to me. I don't dig them long ears.
I notice some people do, but I don't.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because I know you've been to a couple of shows this last year. You ever been to a dog show where you seen one have a long crop?
Yes. They some people do it long, but it's not very common. You know, it's one out of 100 dogs, if that you'll see that longer crop. You'll see some show crops, but even though they call it a show crop by name, I would say 90% of the crop ears at shows are the short crop.
Or the short crops, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Real quick, Kyle, have your finger on the button, man. We got D. Taylor just gifted 5 QBN Kennel memberships. Can I hear it?
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
Claro que sí, cabrón. We're doing it every Monday and Friday. Now, you guys know I moved the time slightly to 8 p.m. I hope I didn't piss too many people off. Eduardo Morales says, yeah, show crop with no bell looks nice. Okay. No, somebody not liking that little bell. Eric Weber, I got a $7,000 bully with show crop ears, and they messed up his cut, and he gets ear infections. But do you think he's getting ear infections because they messed up his cut? Because honestly, I don't think that's going to have much to do with it unless, they somehow flip the ear in and somehow it's closing it and is keeping moisture inside, I'm figuring. Ear cropping is preference. It's not necessary. I agree. I couldn't, my dog's 1 year old. I got his crop done at 2 months. Some of his hair haven't grown back where they cut at. Okay. Shay, boys can get testicular cancer when they're older, and that's why you should spay a male when he's older to avoid testicular cancer. Yeah. Shay Tree, I don't know what the numbers are on that, so let me look it up. But
like I said, if you're having an issue, if the dog, if the testicles are getting swollen, or he's licking at them a lot, like they're bothering him, or things like that. I mean, you take a look at it, but just generally speaking.
Well, look at that. We about to learn something today, man. This is why I say, man,
it's good to look stuff up.
You can never, this is what I say, why I say you could never stop learning, man. Shade Tree just spoke on testicular cancer. I'm thinking less than 1%. Look at the numbers. Testicular tumors are common in intact males, with studies suggesting that up to 27% of unneutered dogs may develop them, accounting for 4 to 7% of all tumors in male dogs.
Huh.
Yeah, here's a more detailed breakdown. Testicular tumors are a significant concern for intact males, with some studies suggesting up to 27%. Then it says they account for a substantial portion of tumors found, 4 to 7%. Medium incidence of testicular tumors in dogs is 35 cases per 100,000. So even though it is uncommon, is not as uncommon as
Ask about age in there, Raul, and see if, like at what age are male dogs more prone to testicular cancer?
Okay. At
Just
what age are male dogs more prone to testicular cancer? Here we go. So
10
male
years
dogs
old.
are generally 10 years old. So so you're looking at definitely an older age. It's more common than I thought, but I mean, if you're looking at a dog that is somewhere around 10 with testicular cancer, at least for me, we're not doing anything. We're leaving everything where it's at. There's no need to be cutting anything out. Sumu says my dog's got one ear up on the left and the right ear's down. People always comment that his ears are so cute. There you go, man. Some people like that. It's all a preference thing. My dad had a wire-haired pointer stud that would jump out of 6-foot kennels to roam. Oh, yeah. He probably need to get neutered in due time. Queen's New Blood says, I've seen shelters say neuter or spay, stop a dog from roaming, but the amount of dogs I've seen get out are mostly altered dogs in my area. Sid 1026 saying, Raul, I know this off topic. Any recommendations on how to treat kennel cough? My female has been competing in shows. Now she's sick and everyone has caught it. Sid 1026. You could give them a little honey with maybe even a little garlic. But the fact of the matter is kennel cough is one of those things that's going to come on and then it's going to go away within 10 days to 2 weeks. Once it's there, it's too late. They already got it.
I'm proud of you saying the honey, Raul. That's we're big on honey around here, and
immune system, bro. Honey and garlic, man.
That honey and garlic, man. That's exactly what we did here, and just keep them good and hydrated. That's all you can do, and just let it run its course.
Wow. Yeah, we got an infamous saying. He wish he could input, but they don't allow ear cropping in his area. He's in the Mariana Islands. Look it up on Google, man. It's in the middle of nowhere, Mariana Islands, bro. It's like by China. So unfortunately for him, they don't allow it. Marley, I've seen that too. They deliberately targeted intact males. Huh. Okay. We got Eric Rutherford. My male got his done at 12 weeks at a vet that I paid quite a bit. My female was done at 6 weeks by a home cropper. My female is better. Yeah, but you also got to keep in mind this. At 6 weeks, the ear is in a different position than it is when they're at 12 weeks. Also, what were they cutting with at 12 weeks? Was it a laser or was it a scalpel? It makes a world of difference, guys.
I wanted to say a couple comments back. You were talking about the islands there. If y'all are from another country, if y'all are tuning in from different places of the world, we want to know, man. We want the people that are on here to know. It's not so obvious to everybody where y'all are at. So shout out to your home country or your homeland, wherever you're at.
This is true. We've actually had an upsurge. So tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and put this as a spin. If somebody guesses this, I'm going to give you a free spin. Okay. What country, right, follows us number 2 after the USA? Okay. So if you're able to guess, no, you already know. If you're able to guess what country this is, I'm going to go ahead and give you a free spin. So you can start dropping it as we speak. Sid 1026 says, I agree. Most vets by me, I can't tell, do not like bullies or not as educated on them and has been a hassle trying to get proper care. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, these vets, when they don't care about bullies, it becomes one big money grab. That's what it becomes. Peace, QBN family. Keep the bully knowledge coming. You got it, King Digger. Number love, man. Bambo Jenkins is definitely a business, but not business alone. I need to have a personal relationship with the doctor that's going to be working on my child. My daughter's doctor and I are on first name basis. Okay.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, Bambo, I couldn't agree with you more, but I will also tell you this. A doctor of your child is in a different dynamic than a doctor at a vet clinic. You see, that doctor of your child is dealing with the majority of his cases, right? With children and parents. So he will adjust his modality to fit this. Vets are not necessarily like this. Vets sometimes, depending, if they have an agenda or not, they're able to bring it in, whereas a doctor in a hospital will never be able to do that. Just throwing that out there, man. Travis on time says, to me, short crop shows more of the head, which if you look at my boy in the picture, his ear spread is phenomenal. Yes, it is. I can see it from here, which you don't see the head spread a lot. Okay, good point. Jebre says, hey, Raul, with battle crop, the head looks bigger and more bullied, in my opinion. I like battle crop. If you had asked me 10 years ago if I like battle crop, I would have said no. Why is it? Because 10 years ago, I was coming in and just the name battle crop means, association with fighting. And therefore, I wouldn't have liked that. But now, I got nothing to do with dog fighting whatsoever. But at the same time, now I kind of just look at the crops for what they are. I don't know, man. I'm kind of digging that battle crop and the short crop. I got Kyle coming in. What you got, Kyle?
I was going to tell you 5 years ago you didn't like the battle crop, so I know 10 years ago you didn't.
Oh no, for sure, for sure.
You were always big on the show crop, and I was like, I really liked when you changed it to short crop because I always liked the short crop a little better. I always loved the show crop with the slight bill on your dogs, but I think the short crop with a slight bill, it would look even better.
It has a lot to do also with the cropper. So look, let's take a look at my dogs.
It has to do with the bell too. For example,
Yeah,
that show crop in that picture, if it had more bell, it would look better than to be so triangular. If it has
I'm
that
not
rounder
too
bell.
big. I'm not too big fan of a big bell though, man. I like it a little bit more, depending on the dog's head too.
It depends on the dog's head. Now, the same guy has cropped all my dogs. So what I'm about to show you comes from the same cropper. So Fireball has show crop slight bell. That's what his crop is. Now, it just happens that Fireball's fold, his ear fold, is low set. When you have a low set ear fold, it looks like
his looks almost like a short crop. His looks like a short crop. I would have thought it was a short crop if I didn't know.
If you didn't know better. And look, this other female, this girl right here, this is our girl Ali. Would you say that's a show crop or a short crop?
I would say short.
It looks a lot more like a short too.
That is a short crop, but look, that's a short crop. But if you were to look at Fireball, his show crop looks more like a short crop compared to her. Huh? And this is the same cropper, same technique, same everything, is also where the fold is on the ear that it's going to affect what the crop looks like. Let's look at another crop here.
Let's explain that a little bit right there, Raul. Because
so would it be better to go to your guy just does ear crops, so that's all he does. Would it be a good idea to say, hey man, with this dog's head and this is the parents, what do you think would look the best?
He will. Okay, so when he sees me, let me tell you how it goes down. You guys know I go to earcrop.com here in Spring, Texas. When Dr. Revere sees me, it's always short crop, slight bell. That's the words coming out of his mouth, because he knows that's what I always get. Then he's going to go to the dog's ear, and then he's going to tell me, hey, look, I might not be able to give you as much of a bell because the fold, whatever the case may be, he'll start breaking down the fold to me.
That's what I wanted to bring a little more light to right there, Raul, because I don't know that people know much about the fold. So if a dog, there's a lot of range in size in bullies' ears, and can be full-blooded bully, and they can have little bitty ears, and they can have longer, floppier ears, longer even. And,
right.
And depending on how long the ear is, how long it hangs, it can have a fold where the ear creases over, and
Yes.
where it folds can be lower or higher on the ear itself, which can affect what the cropper is actually able to do. You might want to show crop, and they might say like your fold is too low. You can't have a tall show crop on this dog because the fold is in my way of that. And so that's where that fold is definitely got to be identified, by the person doing it, and they should, if they're doing their job right, should let you know like, hey, what you're wanting can't be done on this dog without and look right because of the fold.
Can I stop you there real quick? Spec and reviews. Garlic is not toxic for dogs. It is not toxic for dogs. Do your research, my friend. You chop it up, you crush it, you let it sit for 15 minutes. You're going to go from Allen to Allison, and you're going to be able to feed it to your dog. So please do a little research before you start dropping these comments. Eric Rutherford said, I just had to get my 11-month-old nut removed. There you go. Because it twisted. That's a whole different story. Do you think it could have happened from my female who was smaller than him, keep running under him because him to lift his back? No, it happened because it happens. I seen it happen on a human being when I was in ICU. They brought a guy in and basically the testicle had twisted to the point where there was no more blood going to the testicle itself. The pain was, the yelling and the screaming was unbelievable. So I'm just glad you were able to get your dog off of that pain, man. Shout out from down under Australia. Glad I didn't miss it. Nathan Hockey, thanks for showing up, man. We got Australia in the house. Rhode Island in the house. We got UK. Freddie Strebe is asking, is it Ireland? No. Is it Russia? No. Is it UK? No. Is it España? Spain? Nope. Is it Canada? Nope. I might have to end up giving 5 free spins if y'all are able to figure it out. But no. Is it Brazil? No, it's not Canada. It's not Canada. It's not New Zealand. I guess Uzbekistan, China. Nope, it's not any one of them. Sulema says, when I crop my female's ears, first I thought that ends are very long, but when she grew up, ears fit perfect with her head size and shape. So I think that's something to keep in mind. This is true. The ears may look bigger on the puppy, and then as the head comes in time, it all kind of comes into place. UK, I'm also thinking Australia. Nope. Philippines. How about the Philippines? Nope, not the Philippines, man. Bro, got the best bully channel, period. I'm Adore. None but love, man. You're this close to getting a spin. If you were just a member, I'd give it to you, man. China, Canada, Brazil, Kiribati. Number 2 in what, though? They're number 2 in views and in watch time. Queen Nana says, Africa. Africa is a continent. You got to give me a country. Canada or the UK? We got Canada. Man, I'm really good with flags, but I just don't know that one.
I've been throwing the craziest countries out there just to mess people up.
So that's been you. Jebra says, second place followers, it's Mexico. No, my friend, not Mexico, not yet. As mentioned on your Facebook post, it's illegal to crop here in Oz. So there would be technically cruelty here due to our laws. There you go. No, not Mexico, not Ireland. No, yeah, Brazil may have fire, but nope. Hey, Kyle, do me a favor. Can you have it ready? Because check it out, man. Enrique Chavez, all the way from Mexico, just became a member. Can I hear it?
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
It's claro que sí, cabrón. As you know, we do this every Monday and Friday, man. Yeah, Adam Fields saying, pues claro que sí. So we got NBK saying, I've noticed a lot of big XL studs mostly had battle crops to bring out the head. This is true. This is correct. Would you say that there's a particular crop for each class? Would you say there's more battle crops in the pockets or even short crops compared to, say, the standards or XLs?
I definitely have seen that there's more bell in some of the smaller classes.
Okay.
With the pockets and down, I've noticed where they leave a lot more of a round bell, a full bell. Like you like a slight bell, they leave it
I
a
like
lot
slight
more.
bill.
Yeah, they're leaving like a lot. I don't know what it would be called, but it's more than a slight.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the slight. I don't like it more than that because then he just becomes too curvy. It takes away from the dog. The way I see it, the crop has to uh, kind of mesh with the dog, not the dog have to make the crop,
I don't want it to look like half of a spade.
Right, right. Good point.
Yeah.
Bambo Jenkins says, and they're just now getting the practice due to the bully influx. This is true. I didn't get your other statement, but that's true. Domingo Murillo, I love his coat. Is that from feeding him that members mark salmon and potato? You're talking about Fireball? Yes, but when I took those pictures, he was on raw. So I'm just keeping it real with you. Eric Rutherford. Oh, by the way, Looney Tunes says UK. Nope, not the UK. I will announce who the number 2 country right now consuming our videos is. If somebody's able to guess it, forget free spin. I'm going to send you Nuvet and NuJoint DS. All right? But we're going to make a rule. If you already guessed, you can't guess again. So you got to make that one guess count. Just making it fair. My boy has a show crop with a bell. He definitely had to grow into them. My female got hers done with her siblings at the breeders. Hers is a short crop. I like hers more. Okay, fair. Queen Nana, Canada. No, not Canada. Can you ask the question again? Okay, the question is, what country in the world, in the entirety of the world, consumes our content the most? Okay, our live content the most after the United States of America. Okay, Japan. Nope, not Nippon. Cuba. Cuba. Nope. Close, but nope. Not Cuba. Not Mexico. What's the question? Stepped out to give my bulls a bathroom break. You just heard the question. Mexico, India. Nope. Not Scotland, not Australia, not India, not Cuba, not Switzerland, Denmark, or Portugal. Okay, not Holland, not South Korea, not the Bahamas, not Ireland, or Northern
A lot of
Ireland.
guesses, man. A lot of them.
But they trying to get that spin, bro.
Trying to get that Nuvet.
Chile. No, not Chile, man. Not Chile. Christopher Holiday, Papua New Guinea. Boy, they taking shots. Italy. No, not Italy. Japan, Romania, Kyrgyzstan. No, come on, guy. Oh, somebody guessed it. Queen Nana, you guessed it.
You got it.
You guessed it, Queen Nana. Only one problem. You're not a member. You're not a member.
Oh,
South
man.
Africa. To my people down in South Africa, nothing but love. You just beat out Australia as the number 2 country consuming our content, followed by Canada and the UK. So right now, South Africa is putting that elbow down, man, making it happen. What's up to all my people down in South Africa? Peru.
So there's a surge in interest in the American Bully in South Africa and with this platform. And how cool is that, man? That that other countries are deep diving into this stuff, man. It's just it's flattering. It's cool, ain't it?
It is, man. And one thing, whenever I see things like this happening, I've found a new interest in South Africa. So what I'm finding out about South Africa is you kind of get what's going on in the UK in the love and passion for the American Bully without the nonsense of the bans and all that other stuff going on. So just very, very interesting to me that South Africa has just been, in the last 6 months, they're starting to beat out the UK, Canada, and Australia as far as consuming our content. Man, look at this. We got Africa, El Salvador, Venezuela, New Zealand, Trinidad, Dominican Republic, Norway, Argentina, Ghana. Same continent, wrong country, man. Vic Jr. says he wants to be a member. In order to become a member, Kyle had dropped this, but also if you go down to the description below, for as little as $5 a month, you can be part of this conversation as a member, guys. Scotland, Infamous says, y'all can be a member for as little as $5 a month. Check it out. I'm going to let Infamous do it. He says, y'all can be a member for as little as $5 a month. All questions answered and able to win the prizes. For $24.99, you get mentorship level where you can message Raul anytime. At least I do. Not only that, you forgot about this, Infamous. You get two. Well, with $24.99, you get one consult per month with me, one-on-one. We'll be talking to you FaceTime. I was able to do that and with Infamous himself all the way to Mariana Island. So that's why he's saying that. Dan Kyle, you quick. I was just fixing to tell you somebody's trying to lock in. He's over here cracking up, man. Good evening, fellas. MBK, none but love, man. Infamous says, and consultations. I ran out of character on that. There you go, man. So there you have it. There you have it, man. Ear croppings, right? As long as your dog is being put under by a licensed, professionally licensed veterinarian and is being done humanely, we're good, right? And whether that person does it after 14 weeks or under 14 weeks, it really comes down to that person as to their abilities and also what they have in hand. If they have a scalpel, maybe not, because your dog could bleed too much. If they have laser, they get away with a lot more, right? That's what it comes down to. What are your final thoughts, Mike?
Man, I really enjoyed the show tonight. I was honored to be a part of something that's reaching people in so many places. Shout out to South Africa. I think we got a little bit of closure on the topic as far as the majority goes. There were some people in other countries that are limited and maybe have an opinion, but it doesn't affect them there. But as far as people in places where it does affect us, I think it's fairly unanimous, fairly, up in the 90s, man, where people, understand that it's not a bad thing for the dogs. It looks great. It helps them keep their ears clean and, and it's a sexy look for the dogs. So I'm glad to hear that.
Kyle, do me a favor. Go ahead and reset that poll that we have. Marley says the real question is, what's worse, the removal of cartilage or the removal of organs? This is true, man. Don't come here wagging my finger that I'm cropping my dog's ears and you're okay with spaying, neutering before even 18 months. So we have a total of 131 votes. 87% say it's preference. Only 13% say it's abuse. If you're catching us not on the live, I'm going to go ahead and leave this poll up. All you got to do is go to our YT channel, YouTube channel, QBN Kennel, go to the community or post tab, and you're going to be able to vote. Okay. We might come back and bring this vote up on our next live. Drippy's saying QBNK got lucky with them 5 spin family. He cracking up over here, man. He cracking up. Oh yeah, sexy look off the top. Jeremiah, do you become a member for life if you have purchased QBNK production? Jeremiah, you know it's true. You're already a member for life, bro. You got a 305 son. You could text me. We're going to FaceTime. We're going to talk to you for life, man. So I'm glad you brought that up. Great live QBNK. Puerto Rico. There you go. Freddie Strevey saying, great live, guys. Appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one. Give us a like. You got it. Before we do, let me bring my guy from the back. Hollywood, start it up, man.
It's your boy, Hollywood Holland. Your boy in the back of the queue. We're catching you on the next one.
Michael Higginson.
Michael Higginson with QBN Kennel from Arkansas, man. Had a great time tonight with y'all. Always a pleasure to learn. Catching you on the next one.
But God, hey, you already know, man, if you're looking to get into the conversation, have a conversation with us, whether it's ethically, morally right or wrong, or simply want to play devil's advocate, you could always go down and become a member of this channel. You could come in here and we could have this conversation every Monday and Friday one-on-one. Either way, been Raw from the Q. I'll be catching you on the next one.
Here we go, kill the whistle. Oh yeah. We are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Yeah, hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.c.s.t. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will get